Okay. Well, welcome to our Rahu transit video for 2025. And as you know, Rahu is going to be entering the sign of Aquarius by first week of June, but that's not really the timing. Literally, Rahu and Ketu will enter their respective sign a month before, like May. Like literally from May's second week, they will begin giving their results. Why? As soon as Rahu and Ketu go around 1 degree of a sign, their tails are already in the other sign. The half of the serpent, most of the serpent is already in the other sign. So it's really going to start affecting from May. And you got to understand, I've already spoken about this on my Keras vlogs. For each ascendant, which you will find the link in the description or in the comments, where I've spoken about literally 35 minute long video for each ascendant and spoken about Rahu's position there. So Rahu is entering Aquarius. Now this is important because Aquarius is the domain of Rahu. Okay, it's a domain of Saturn, but it is also the domain of Rahu. This is a sign that is co-ruled by Saturn and Rahu. The Saturn aspect controls the physical side of Aquarius. Okay, like Saturn is a rebellious individual, right? So especially in Aquarius, you will find the qualities of retaliating against things, rebellion against certain things, activism. Like the proper word would be using activism towards a certain agenda. Okay. Now, Rahu controls the subconscious side of Aquarius. Rahu controls the psychological side of Aquarius, which is even more important because you don't win wars by bullets. You don't win battles by swords. You win battles by mind games, by playing psychological warfare and mind games. So that is Aquarius. And so here, the planet, the landlord is coming into its own sign. And so you will see with each of your ascendant, wherever it's placed during this transit, and if you don't know which ascendant you are and where Rahu is going to be transiting, you can check out the links in kerasastrology.com under shop section. Option 6 and beyond is going to give you a PDF report with all your accurate birth data. But see, the first thing you will understand that Aquarius is a vase, right? What is the symbolism of Aquarius? It's an old man holding a vase of water at the edge of a village. Like he's about to enter the village. What does this mean? Does this mean that people in the village are thirsty and they're out of water? No. But the people in the village are lacking wisdom. They're lacking healing. They're lacking direction. And the substance inside the vessel heals. Substance inside the vessel brings wisdom. So, and this is why you will see Rahu in Aquarius is actually a very, very strong sign. This is usually a placement of people who go into wanting to protect the environment, protect the planet, protect the earth. Because they have such a wisdom with them that they cannot see and cannot bear to stand the injustice that is being executed into this world by humans. This is why you will see, like many a times, such type of Aquarian people will fight for the planet even if they themselves die. Because remember, it was Rahu, the celestial pig, that saved Earth from the monster, from the underwater and let it rest. So it's Rahu who actually saves Earth. And here in the sign of Aquarius, Rahu begins to reinvent itself. Rahu begins to plan. I think my daughter's calling me. I don't know why. And why is my iPad catching this? That's weird. Okay. So, where I was saying, when Rahu comes into Aquarius, it wants to reinvent things, because it's like a soldier who has exhausted all their bullets, all their ammos, is coming back to the station to refill. And this is where the planning begins happening. And I'm going to show you how this is going to correlate with your own chart. And especially when Rahu is in Aquarius, okay? This is the sign that becomes activated with the most ambition. Okay? It becomes activated with the most ambition. It wants to, what it does, Rahu is a head without the esophagus. It cannot be fulfilled. Rahu is that unlimited desire. And what is Aquarius? Aquarius is desire. This is why you will see wherever Rahu goes for the next 18 months, you have the most enormous desire, unending desire in that particular house. And especially with Rahu, also pay attention to the sign it is from the moon. Because what is Rahu and Ketu? They are nodes of the moon. We don't call them the nodes of the sun or nodes of Mars and Jupiter. They're nodes of the moon. They are tied to the moon. So they're tied to your birth karma, the womb that is sprouting all the seeded plants in your life through the system of Dasha. And the thing is, because Aquarius is full of desires, is nothing but desires, is the original 11th house. Rahu is naturally the Lord, which is why it represents unfulfilled desires. Like if you gave Rahu laddus or pastries, that desire can never feel like, oh, I'm full. It's just there and there and there and there. And this can be very troublesome period for people who create that enormous desire for themselves for this year and next year and even early 2027. Like, I want to achieve this. I want to achieve that. Whichever house it's in, I need to get this going. I need to get that going. And now what you're doing, you're like filling that house with your seed of karma. And Rahu's like, yes, desire more. And this is where the trouble then comes in. Because what happens is, with Rahu, this high is going up high. Right? When you are, let's say, doing some form of a drug, you're starting to get that high. You're getting that dopamine fill. And you're like, yes, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. And then what happens is it sinks down. It never gets there. It's not supposed to get there. That's the game that is being played here with Rahu and Aquarius. And how do you deal with this? Don't desire, especially with Saturn being in Pisces. If you are in my Karis vlogs, or if you watched my Saturn transit video in the beginning of the year, I spoke about reverse psychology with Saturn in Pisces. I spoke about playing the psychological chess with Saturn and Pisces. And yet now Rahu is coming into the sign of Saturn, into its own domain. And Rahu is nothing but desires. It wants to keep going at that desire. And this is where you will see certain people can go to the point of extreme frustration where Rahu sits. Why? Because you are going to begin to eat those laddus, eat those pastries, and you're just not going to be fulfilled. It'll feel like you're still just about to eat the first one. And it's a great momentum in the beginning, but when you have had almost 50 pastries and cake, you're like, there's something wrong here. Why am I not feeling that high, that dopamine high? And this is why in Aquarius, a lot of crime can also take place with Rahu in Aquarius. Especially nowadays, cybercrime. Like you will see major, major hacks taking place with Rahu in Aquarius. And they happen because of frustration. It happens because one country, one group is just not prospering. And they're like willing to do whatever it takes to protect their environment. Because again, it's Rahu, right? So subjectively, an individual becomes the earth. Rahu becomes that protector. And in the sign of desires, it's not letting you fulfill that desire. And remember, Aquarius is the most desire and is the most unfulfilling of the desires. Why? And this is why also if you see in Transit Astrology, Aquarius is given house of obstruction, Badakesh. Because Aquarius is 12th from the 12th. And what is the 12th sign? Pisces, which dissolves karma. He says, whatever you want to desire, here, I'll dissolve it. This is why you will see wherever Pisces is placed in your chart, that particular house, you will feel unfulfilled or you will not get the desired results. And Aquarius becomes at the power of 2. So Aquarius and Pisces go hand in hand. And what saves Aquarius? In order to balance this Rahu's energy, which is unfulfilling, you need dharma. Why do you need dharma? Well, if Aquarius is the bhavat bhavam of Pisces, 12th from the 12th, well then what is 11th from 11th? It's the sign of Sagittarius, 9th house. So it requires dharma. But then what happens is if malefic are impacting Sagittarius, then one can go to war. Because Sagittarius is also the sign of war. It's a sign where war starts. And most war starts on religion and beliefs. And look at the symbolism of Sagittarius. It is a hunter with a bow and arrow on a horse. That shows that the symbolism is about speed and aiming and taking care of what needs to be done. There's no sympathy in the sign of Sagittarius. Sympathy is in Jupiter, but not in the sign of Sagittarius. So here then Aquarius is going to look for its own bhavat bhavam. And this is why it can be either very troublesome or you can find that savior through Jupiter or through Sagittarius. Guidance, strategy. But if it's towards hunting and war, then it becomes more complicated in a person's life. Okay. At the same time, what happens with Rahu and Aquarius is the easiest prediction. We don't know. That's the predictions with Rahu in Aquarius. Why? Because, first of all, Aquarius, what is the symbolism? It's a vase, right? It's a vase. So it's a pot, right? But can you tell me, when you see the symbolism of Aquarius, what is in the pot? What's in there? Because wisdom and knowledge can come in many ways. Wisdom can be learned through very harsh life lessons. So the thing is, it's a dark vessel. This is why Aquarius becomes a mysterious sign like Scorpio, while Scorpio is then co-ruled by Ketu. This is why Aquarius and Scorpio are two signs that cannot work on logic, it works on intuition. Meaning, when an astrologer is seeing the chart, the feel that they get, what is the vibration? Like sometimes, you'll see a chart and you just feel something. That is that Rahu Ketu speaking. Because remember, Rahu is outside of Maya. You said Rahu is Maya? No, Maya is a different machine. Because Rahu and Ketu were separated through Vishnu, where Ketu literally found moksha, they went outside of the realm of Maya, so they have their own control, they have their own powers and realm. And what we do here in the Maya, this samsara, is we're dealing with this machine. And we're thinking that that thing out there is just like this machine that we're dealing with, so we're trying to decode it, like astronomers looking at a pulsar or quasar and trying to determine what's in the black hole. We don't know. And literally one of the nakshatras that get controlled by Ketu in Dasha system is Mula Nakshatra, which is near the black hole. So this is why that's the prediction what Rahu and Aquarius, it gives surprises. It just brings surprises. Okay. And then you have to look at it like Rahu and Ketu are correcting themselves here, especially Rahu. So based on the karmas that you have been performing for the past 18 years, how your life has been, what have you done, what have you committed, now that vessel is going to give something from inside, like a Santa Claus giving a gift on Christmas, but you don't know what's inside that bag. But it's based upon what has been done in the past 18 years. And on the other hand, okay, Aquarius Rahu is an expert. They become expert at things, whether they get something out of it or not. You see many talented people and they might be sleeping on the street, yet you find out this person is a great mathematician. And you're just wondering how in the world you're on the streets. Okay. So it's that expertise that is given with the unexpected result of the vessel, the vase, whatever you want to call it, the pot. Okay. So Rahu, you will see wherever Rahu comes in your ascendant and from the moon, you're going to seek expertise in that particular domain. And you're going to you will actually become an expert. You see, desire is one thing, becoming an expert is one thing. The desire that I'm talking about is, I want this. Now, your desire could be wanting to become an expert at something, but no, that's not the desire. You want to become an expert at something because now through that you can get power. You can get prestige, recognition, and of course, most important of all, gains in money. And Aquarius is also gains. And this is why this is the sign of Badak, because the more a person gains, the more that desire just gets higher and higher. The elevator just keeps going floor by floor. It does not end. The more you gain from that particular house, the 11th house. Okay. The other thing you will see with Aquarius or Rahu in Aquarius, especially whichever sign or house that it's placed in. We already know the sign. That particular individual will have a hard time sleeping. So, especially during this time, you will see Aquarius ascendant or Aquarius moon sign people, hard time sleeping. They will be up all night. Now, if usually you have Moon and Rahu together, okay, both you and your mother will be night hawk. You become more active at night. You can't say, and you always feel like, why is it that, I can't sleep? And in the daytime, you'll be sleeping. Because daytime, then you're getting the opposite result away from Aquarius, which is a sign of Leo. Leo is sleeping. Why? Because it's a sign of the lion. What does the lion do? Literally 18 hours a day. It just sleeps. Then it'll just go hunt for 3-4 hours, sometimes even less, depending upon how quick the meal can come to them. But that's what it is. So whenever there's an action, the reaction will happen at the opposite end. So that's one thing you will see also. The hard time sleeping of whichever house it's in, or that house keeps you awake. Like it's happening in your 10th house. So yeah, maybe your boss is having a hard time sleeping, but it's actually your work that is going to make you not fall asleep because of the amount of work you will have. And then again, you should be like, wow, that's, in a way, somebody might be looking at it as a good thing, that I don't have any work right now. That means I can get so much work with Aquarius Rahu in the 10th house that, I'll at least I'll be employed and I'll be getting a paycheck. And then still, with Aquarius Rahu, naturally you will see major evolution takes place in your life. Like those 18 months become the defining source, in your life. Because, and this is especially Rahu Aquarius, not Rahu Capricorn, where it will be in 2027, or not Rahu Pisces, where it is right now, Rahu Aquarius. Like I remember Rahu in Aquarius, actually it was, Rahu in Aquarius that I came to US. So it's a time of evolution, evolving. Something begins to evolve within your life and within your chart. Then, I don't know why my screen is stuck. Mars is still retrograde. So I had the most trouble in Tokyo with my laptop. The audio wouldn't work. I mean, I'm still thankful for, the opportunity and everything that happened and will happen because of my project there. But yeah, it was the most troubling thing. And here it's now this iPad is, I don't know why is it that it won't let me zoom in or move. Okay. But regardless, so Rahu in Aquarius also will become an extremely secretive individual. A lot of secrets come in. Like you get to know or you get to create secrets into the house that Rahu transits in Aquarius. You will learn a lot of secrets. At the same time, it is a sign of secrecy, naturally, Aquarius. Why? Because which is the house of secrecy? It's the sign of Cancer, 4th house, yes. But it's also Scorpio and the energy of Scorpio. And 4th from Scorpio is Aquarius, meaning the executed karma. What is the karma of Aquarius or Scorpio is the sign of Aquarius. Because if you look at in any dynamics of any country, it is the secrecy of the government and what they hold. They create organizations to guard those things. Right? Like we have CIA, Pentagon, FBI, run by our very own Kash Patel. Cash me outside. He's that. But it's secrets of the organization, the secrets that are kept within. And Rahu is that person that likes to expose secrets. So this is why you get to learn secrets. Like if, let's say, Rahu's transiting your 8th house from the ascendant or the moon, you will learn some big secrets related to occult, mysticism, Jyotish, or a lot of secrets related to, hidden secret way of making big money. All of these things happens. 4th house, Rahu, can show you secrets related to gaining access to home, gaining access to vehicles, or simply peace of mind. If you have been disturbed, Rahu in Aquarius only can actually reveal you the secret to finding that solution. Now, why solution? Think about it. Why solution? Who's at the heart of Aquarius? It's actually Rahu's nakshatra Satabhishak, which is the healer. But it's a secret healer. See, Satabhishak heals you mysteriously. Where Ashwini will heal you in front in the world. Hasta will heal you, in a normal basis. But Satabhishak will heal things in a mysterious way. Like you'll meet a shaman and all the doctors have not been able to solve your problem, but then a shaman does something. You went to somewhere in South America and within few hours, whatever that thing was just gone. And you're just like, cannot believe it, even as a biggest skeptic. That's how mysteriously this sign works. So when Rahu naturally enters Aquarius, it can bring solution to your health problems or health issues related to that particular house if you deal with. Like especially in the 5th or 6th house, it can bring solution to your digestive issues, intestinal issues, ulcer, whatever it is that you will deal in that area. So this is one of the other benefits of Rahu, and especially you will see. I'll give you the 2 ages that this Rahu will truly affect. Although there's like around 9 or 10 ages, but literally the 32nd year and 37 people who are running 32nd year and 37th year, wherever Rahu is in Aquarius, meaning whichever house, you'll have significant events occur in those particular house. Now, when will those events occur? Simple secret. Look at the degree of your ascendant. So let's say your ascendant is at 20 degree. So most likely Rahu will be hitting 20th degree around November, December, maybe. So around the time period, that event becomes active. In that while you're running that particular year. Maybe 6 months here and there, but it'll happen in that particular time. But it has to get to that point of the ascendant degree. Okay. Then, also, as we know, Rahu is ambitious. Right? Rahu is a very ambitious planet. When it comes into Aquarius and it has, now it's like the soldiers gathering all the arsenals. Is putting all the rocket here and then the grenade here and then filling up the bullets in the AR-15. Now suddenly, Rahu in Aquarius will have people jump into things without even knowing if they can swim. You will, like, people related to that house will jump into that house without knowing if they can swim in that particular house. They just want to jump in. Like if 7th house Aquarius Rahu, so if you're Leo ascendant, you're single, you will see you'll just jump into the relationship without even caring about what the past is of this person, who this person is. You're like, I'm ready. Let's do this. Let's see what this is about. Let's see how cold the water is. You'll be like, I don't want to just touch. Let's just jump and I'll figure out how to swim. That's the attitude that becomes depending upon whichever house that is transiting from the ascendant for you guys. And my God, can you please work properly? Mr. iPad, please, please, please work. So yeah, and then also remember, Aquarius is what? Now we know the Bhavat Bhavam of Aquarius, right? It's the sign of Sagittarius. But who is Aquarius the Bhavat Bhavam of? It's the Bhavat Bhavam of the sign of Virgo. 6th house. 6th from the 6th. 6th house, which is enemies, competition, work, rivalries. And here now, your Rahu is entering into the sign of Aquarius. And it has all the things ready. So what does that mean? Well, now it's the time that you will have to fight that battle where Rahu goes. But it's not like a physical battle. It's not a physical battle. I told you that early on. It's the psychological battle. Mental battle. Subconscious battle. That's what you have to overcome. But if you want to know one secret of this particular, not even secret, it's a solution actually, of this transit of Rahu in Aquarius and Saturn in Pisces, don't desire things desperately. Especially with Rahu, don't desire things desperately. Desire, but if it doesn't, like, oh, whatever. I'll see next year or something. Where Saturn is, just let go. It's like, I don't even want this. Like Saturn, let's say, is transiting your 10th house from the ascendant in Pisces. Don't be like, oh my God, this year I hope I get a promotion. I need my promotion. I need that job offer from that company. Because the more you will desire, the more unsatisfactory result will come. But if you play this psychological game and reverse psychology, like, I don't want it. I'm good. I'm happy where I am. I don't want a higher responsibility and a higher title and a higher distinction. I don't even want the higher money that comes with it. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm working. Now that energy of Pisces will reverse that and say, okay, you don't want more responsibility? You don't want promotion and go to the higher responsibility? Okay. Here it is. You said it, and that was my job to give you the opposite. And remember what's happening with Rahu in Aquarius. This is where the desire is just out of proportion. It's out of proportion. And especially if, let's say, you have Saturn in Aquarius sitting and Rahu transits over it. Okay, while the transiting Saturn is in Pisces, now you must not look for any sort of advancement purposefully. Okay. And then also remember, because Aquarius is Bhavat Bhavam of Pisces, already they are talking about this. The drones, the aliens, and UFO. But there could be a big information that can come in especially around. I think it's probably going to be in the Satabhishak Nakshatra side of things, which will be more in 2026. So there will be news related to that. But also Rahu in Aquarius. Um, well, let's just say it's trying to fulfill certain wishes of Varuna. I don't want to say it here. It births something which is actually the desire of Varuna. That desire is not the desire you want to hear, but and this is more on a mundane basis. I'm not talking about individual basis, more on a mundane basis. Okay. But yeah, it's a very interesting transit of this. And then, of course, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to make the February horoscope definitely tomorrow because it's already February. So I'll make it because this is the month where Mars and Jupiter go direct. So I'll make that for all ascendants on Keras vlogs. Okay. And also remember, especially with Rahu in Aquarius, Rahu represents the wristwatch. Okay. Rahu, and especially it's in the sign which is co-ruled by Saturn, which is called time. Wristwatch becomes very important as part of your, in a way, as a remedy with Rahu in Aquarius. You're able to manage and control Rahu instead of it's controlling your time. But of course, it has to be a proper wristwatch, which of course I have the course on Maghavedic Astrology Academy. In the wristwatch course section, you will see. That actually becomes important with this. Okay. Now, the two events that I wanted to discuss. Okay. The first one is actually March 29th. Literally almost at 11:59 a.m. Okay. Potential event can occur because you have 7 planets that will be together in the sign of Pisces. Okay. Which is the domain of Pushan. Which is pretty much the deity that takes the soul from the earth plane to the Yamloka, where then it is decided where the soul should go next. Okay. And so usually Pisces is not like some spiritual calm sign. I mean, each sign has its own flip side of the coin. Pisces is like release. Pisces is moksha. So this is not more for individual charts because 8 billion people, 6 billion people will have this conjunction in their chart. Okay, this is more of a mundane thing because especially the thing is, I believe, let me see what the next was, April 25th and then March 29th. So yeah, March 29th, both Rahu, Saturn are together. And then March 25th, Rahu, Saturn will literally be exactly conjunct. Okay. In Pisces. Rahu, Saturn, to be honest with you, it is a conjunction that I've seen with most people who kind of feel confused. In their profession, in their career, they feel lost. Because Rahu is actually confusion. And Saturn is your karma. I've always seen, like Rahu, Saturn, trine or conjunction, I've always actually seen people who go into medical field, especially acupuncture. But specifically, the path, your karma. See, Jupiter is just you. But why are we here? Why is Jupiter here? If you think about it, it is the notion of performing our karma. You gotta do certain things, to release yourself from this engineering box of Maya. So when Rahu comes in front of Saturn, creates confusion. Is usually I've seen, especially directly, when Saturn is behind Rahu, because Rahu is moving behind, Saturn is moving forward. Okay, but it creates that foggy path in your path of karma. Like a person, even if you tell this person, this is what you should do, this is what needs to be done, they cannot seem to resonate. But also, the reason why I'm mentioning this particular time period, because the last time they were exactly conjunct, the mass shooting at the Marine base happened, I believe it was in Encinitas, California, or somewhere in California with a Marine base that was hit with a mass shooting. So this particular date is something to look out for. So where is it? Oh my God. Yeah, that was March 29th, 11:59 a.m. That's the cluster of planets. And then April 25th, I think 6:33:07 a.m. Rahu. But depends upon, if you're using mean nodes or true nodes, you're going to see a difference. But still, that is the time frame around where there will be exactly conjunct, especially in Pisces. And that too in Bhadrapada Nakshatra, which is the nakshatra of that burning tower. And remember, I told you guys that this is a 9-year. Fire, explosions, injuries, cuts. Like, it's a very fiery year. And obviously, what did you see right in the beginning of this year? The Palisades fire in Los Angeles. And then this DC crash that happened. Then the next day, that Philadelphia crash that happened. So this is not a peaceful year. Especially on a mundane level. I'm not talking about individual. Okay, people will still live their life, but on the mundane basis, I'm talking about this. So just pay attention to these two particular events of this Rahu transit. Now, the other thing that I wanted to discuss is that who will this transit impact the most? Okay. I haven't made videos so far on Ketu going over planets, Rahu going over planets. That could come. I might just put it on my vlogs. But you always have to understand Rahu, Ketu, whenever the transit part comes in, the 1-7 and 4-10 axis becomes the most important. Big events, big purchases, big turns takes place whenever they are in 4-10 and 1-7 axis. Like in my 4-10 axis, got married. 1-7 axis, bought a property. Then again 4-10 axis, bought another one. So, and of course, it's not like it needs to be good or bad. It just transformation. It's change. Like people are looking to find a change in their life. Like, when will that big change come in for me? Okay. Sometimes I see charts and I don't see much change coming in, but I still have to give people hope. That's why they come to me. I don't care what they think of what I've said, but, I never let someone go without hope. But when you want that change, the Kendra 1-7 and 4-10 axis is very important for their transit. Why? Because the Kendras are known as Vishnu. The trines are known as Lakshmi. And who was it that severed the head of Rahu, who was Swambharu at that time? It was Vishnu. And this is why they impact these particular houses the most. But they are not, Rahu, Ketu are not like angry with Kendra. That, okay, now that we're in Kendra, we have to do it bad. But we have to do bad. No, it all depends on multitudes of things. Number one, it will depend upon your own past karmas. And especially karmas from every 18 years. Like Whatever the 18 years is, you might get 4 18-year cycles, 3 18-year cycles, 5 18-year cycles, right? Every cycle, they will judge how this person is dealing with it and how they're doing. This is why you'll see like billionaires who become billionaires in 18 years suddenly will lose their wealth. Suddenly their entire reputation goes down. Also, on the other hand, your past karmas themselves, the cycles, are taking each past life, sometimes multiple lives in those 18 cycles to give you the results. And of course, when the planets are placed in a certain angle, in 1, 7 at 4, 10 axis, they themselves become a strong catalyst of how the impact of Rahu Ketu will be upon your chart. Okay, but 1, 7 and 4, 10 axis become the most important. Then second would be when these planets are impacting other grahas, other planets themselves in certain houses. Okay, but if you're looking for that change, like I'm tired. I want my life to just come on. Let's go. Let's churn something. Well, this is where pretty much Aquarius and Leo ascendant, okay, and Taurus and Scorpio ascendant. These will be the ascendants that deal with those changes and transformation, especially when you are in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Doesn't matter, even at 70s. A lot of people have started their businesses in 70s, made it successful, and then children carry on. So you can ever discount a particular age for anything, especially even marriage. I mean, I've been shocked, like people have even gotten, I used to be shocked when I first came to this country that people are getting married in 60s. In their 70s, they're getting married. But now it's a very normal thing because I didn't understand the culture of US when I first came. But yeah, things happen. In India, I don't think you can make a marriage prediction for somebody who's 60 or 70 or widowed. I don't know if that culture is changing there, but here that culture changes. So like 1-7 axis can bring about that change of relationship. I even remember, my own 1-7 axis brought a very strong relationship in my 20s. Very, very strong. Okay. So anyway, guys, this was my analysis. Also remember my photography. You can see on my Facebook, Karis, or clicked by Karis. Okay, Facebook/clicked by KRS. It's not just for online. There's a big thing about it. There's I can't discuss it, talk about it until it manifests, but there's a reason why I suddenly left, for Japan to take certain photographs. So, and then, there's more trips coming up, but I don't know if I can handle. It was so tough to handle this 14-hour long flight, 12-hour long flight. This is why I'm if I go anywhere, India or somewhere else, I have to have a layover for at least a day or two layover somewhere, and then go to India or somewhere else, Himalayas. Yeah. But anyway, hopefully you guys like it. And remember, I'm going to be posting the February horoscope on Karis vlogs today. And my 2025 horoscope naturally is on Karis vlogs as well. Okay. And my Rahu, or the wristwatch course connected with Rahu and its remedy, Saturn and its remedy, is already on my Magha Vedic Astrology Academy. All right. So we'll see you later. Bye-bye.